Jeremy from jeremy.net. So about 6 months ago, I posted a video called The Drawings That I Throw Away, and it got a lot of response. And it occurred to me, if there's something that people are really into, I should probably do more of it. So a little background. That video, The Drawings That I Throw Away, I take figure drawing classes regularly. I have a figure drawing class I go to once a week at the Animation Guild in Burbank, California. And as I go through these drawings in these classes every week, at a certain point, I have to empty my drawing board and take the drawings off there, put fresh paper on, and I take the drawings I have there. Now, out of these drawings, this is where the artwork that's on my blog post that I put 5 days a week, this is where those figure drawings come from. And they're, a variety of different models. Sometimes there's a class I take that's on costume and the draped figure. Right now I'm taking a class taught by Carl Ganass on heads, hands, and feet. So there's a lot of head drawings in here, a few hands, and what have you. But my drawings fall into three categories. They're the drawings that I'm not going to keep. They're bad drawings. They aren't really good. They're not anything I'm going to share. There's drawings that I'm going to photograph for the blog, just so that I have stuff to show people, show them what I'm working on. They're what I feel are decent drawings. They're worth showing. And then there's drawings that I'm going to keep specifically because I'm going to do paintings on them. I haven't done that in a very, very long time, but I started a process a while back where I was taking some of my figure drawings. I would paint paint acrylic medium over them, paste them onto a drawing board, and then paint acrylic paint on top of them, like a color glaze, tinting them. Now, there's a fourth category, which is drawings that I know are bad, but I'm saving them specifically so I can redraw them. And for instance, this head, kind of wonky. I would definitely have another sheet of paper and I would sit aside and I would spend, a half hour just doing various versions of doodling this, working out what I got wrong on the cheekbones, defining the structure of the nose, the underside of the nose and the nostrils, the septum, and actually defining the bridge of the nose better, because right now it just feels like it's this kind of squarish flat surface but doesn't really communicate the angle that the nose goes up to the flat top that's on the top, on the part that's facing the facial plane. So there's a lot of things wrong with this drawing, that drawing, that drawing. And this isn't a woe is me pity party. This isn't me looking for sympathy, and it's not me sitting around saying, oh, my art sucks and, I'm a crappy artist. Part of this is really just about me analyzing my own work so I can get better at it. And I think that's a very important thing that I've mentioned many times over and over again. The point of being self-critical or taking any criticism from anybody is not to beat yourself up and to feel crappy about it. It's to learn and grow. So every month I go through my drawing board and I take off a bunch of drawings and I sort out the ones I'm going to keep, the ones I'm going to paint, the ones I'm going to throw away. So this sheet, I don't think there's anything in here. This one's not horrible. I might photograph just this drawing, except for the fact that the underside is so wonky. So this one is going to go in the toss section. This one I'm going to photograph, and I think I'll paint on top of it. In the most recent class I had, we had a pretty long pose. I think this was like a 25-minute pose for the model. And again, I'm not saying, oh, this one's a good drawing, like it's a masterpiece, but I think that it's worth me doing a painting over. It's a more finished study as opposed to the very loose, rough stuff that I do. Something else I should mention. This go-around, I am being a little harder on which drawings I'm going to keep because I realize as I've been posting drawings on my blog, I've got drawings from many, many months ago. And I have them photographed and saved up. I could probably not go to figure drawing class for like 2 or 3 months and still have plenty of stuff to show from previous classes. So I realized I'm going to start being a little choosier. There was a point in the past where I would post some drawings that weren't great, almost because I feel like it's important to show people that if you're, say, an art student or you're someone who's struggling with your own craft, that everyone struggles. Not everything you draw is going to be a masterpiece. I think it's true for most artists that we probably throw away more work than we share. And it's not a self-critical, crappy thing. It's just, out of all the things we do, I do tons of drawings that are studies, and the point of those is to improve. They're not finished pieces unto themselves to share with the world. And I've been sharing a lot of pieces that are part of those crappy studies. And I think I will still occasionally share some of those if I feel like there's something to be learned from that bad drawing. And there's things to be learned from bad drawings. But other than that, I think that I'm probably going to cut down the number of drawings that I save to share on my blog. So you're still going to see as many drawings as you see, but there's going to be fewer drawings in my buffer, because I think I've been keeping a lot more drawings that aren't necessarily, or I've been posting drawings that aren't as good as I feel like my best work is. And I feel I've got enough of the better drawings to share now, and as my audience is growing, maybe I should be sharing some better drawings. And this one is, again, also a longer pose. We were doing drawings in class where we were drawing each other, and I think this one was like more of an 8-minute pose. So it came out as a nice study, and a lot of the ones of my classmates I feel are better studies. So they were longer poses. I feel they came out a little bit better, so I think those are worth keeping. This one I'm probably not going to keep to paint on, but I think it's one that I will post on the blog, so we'll keep that one. This one I'm not going to keep and I'm not going to post. And I feel kind of bad about it because the guy who was posing for it was really cool and he really liked the drawing. But he has a much more interesting and rugged face. And this one, I think I made his jaw, because he has a strong, like, almost like John Barenthal Punisher on Daredevil look. Like, he had really strong features, strong muscular features, and I think I just kind of made him just mushy. It didn't come out as well as what I was going for in the drawing. So, I mean, it didn't come out as well as what I saw in front of me that I had to work with. He gave me real good material to work with in terms of his pose and his facial structure, and I don't feel like I captured it. And this one, I think, if I'm going to be choosier about stuff I am going to keep or not keep, he was a great model, but I don't think I captured it with this drawing, so I'm not going to keep that one. This one, ironically, feels spot on to me. I like it. Feels pretty finished. This one will go on the blog, and I'll probably paint this one also. This one, also a slightly longer pose. And honestly, I think that's what makes the difference in terms of the drawings that I want to keep versus don't keep. There's a lot of 5-minute drawings that we do in classes, and very few of those come out well because you've really got to be spot on and have your shit together to pull off a nice 5-minute drawing. And when I say you really have to do that, there's lots of people I know who do it. They're just really good artists. For me, I either have to be doing studies during the week or drawing a lot and have my hand and my observational skills kind of all in sync to get a good drawing out of a 5-minute pose. Otherwise, I need more like 8 or 10 minutes to kind of futz through, sculpt, move pieces around. So yeah, this one I will definitely post on the blog. I don't know for sure if I will paint on it or not. I'll decide that later. This one, no. Came out cross-eyed. I kept futzing with the eyes, and it just did not come out. It's just not a great drawing. This would be a great drawing for me to save to do studies from. And so I may keep this one to rework. That's another thing. If I see a drawing and I'm like, I can see that's a train wreck, that's a good reason for me to save it and work from it and dig in, analyze what I'm doing wrong. This one, I think I'll post this one. Let's see here. Now we're getting into some quicker poses, but I really like this model, and his face has a lot of character. I'll probably post this one, even though I won't necessarily keep it. This one, I really like his face. I don't like the way I did his hands, and the artist does actually have sort of shorter fingers, a little bit on the stubby side. But that said, I don't think I captured that because it just, that's actually an interesting point. When you're trying to draw something that is atypical in anatomy, someone who has a really long neck or short fingers or eyes that are wider apart, the trick is how do you capture it and not make it look like it's a bad drawing, but actually capture it the way that it really existed in space. So this one I will probably save to redraw from, but I don't think I'll post it on the blog. I'll post this one. I like it. I mean, a lot of this is going to be me just saying, I like it, I don't like it, I like it, I don't like it. I guess it's challenging for me to also, as I'm flipping through this, it's not like I have a pre-recorded script, so I'm just thinking about what it is that I do or don't like drawings and why it is that to say something specific about why I'm keeping it or not keeping it, without belaboring the point for every single drawing, otherwise it's going to go on and on and on. These aren't bad. Post but not keep. Oh, well, in terms of the particulars, I did like the way that I got in here and got the sculpt under the underside of his cheekbone. You know, like when you have your cheekbone coming out, there's obviously the underside which going back into the lower plane of the face. And I like the character that his shoulder has being pushed way up. If it was just this drawing that's up here, I would probably not keep it, because this one, I think, you know, similar attitude, same model, but this one just feels wonkier. This one, it's got a little bit more like just laid back character to it. So let's see here. This is interesting in that this drawing up here is the pose that the model took, and he actually had a gun in his hand, a prop gun in his hand. And when I saw the pose, the actual lighting that I have down where it gets darker and turns almost more silhouette as you get closer to the bottom, the lighting was not that dramatic. However, the spotlight was kind of shining up here in the model setup, and so it did get progressively darker as you move down. And when I saw it, it's like I saw a whole painting in front of me, like something that felt like a Glenn Orbick painting from one of the hard case crime novels. Like I totally saw that pulpy feel, because I don't think I captured it well, but he's also got a hat pressed to his chest, and his pose was actually a little bit more chest out, gun straight down, like kind of like hardcore executioner, you brought this shit on yourself type. And so I did a little thumbnail down here of what I want to do of a painting of this. So this one I'm going to save not to paint over, but as a study for a painting. And I just really like just the look that the model had. Sometimes a model gives you something in a figure drawing setup where you're just like, oh God, this is beautiful. I can make a painting out of this. What is sometimes more frustrating is when they give you a pose that is that good, but it's a short, like a 5-minute pose, and you just don't have time to get it all down, because sometimes the model will take a pose and, you know, it should only be 5 minutes because it might be really hard to hold, but I'll look at it and I'll be like, I wish this was like a 10-minute or 15-minute pose, because this is damn beautiful and I wish I had time to capture everything in it that makes it as great as it is. This one, rough, incredibly unfinished. I don't know why I didn't get very much drawing done. I think I was trying to do, I don't know what I was trying to do. It's just a bad drawing. That happens sometimes. That's okay. That's the whole point of figure drawings. You go there, you try and you fail, and you try and you fail. The only reason why this one isn't a good candidate for me to redraw and learn from is because it's so unfinished. I got so little work done into the piece that there isn't enough for me to actually properly study and break down and figure out what I did wrong. So that's actually a good thing for me to mention. The reasons why I would keep a drawing that I want to do drawings, redraw and draw over. And it's because a drawing is poorly done, but it's complete. So I can sit there and say, all right, this is a finished drawing, but what is it that I didn't capture? Now I've got things to go back and work on and analyze. And when I say finished, I don't mean finished like a like a finished illustration that you would publish in a magazine or that you would deliver to a client. When I say finished, I mean finished like this drawing. This is a study from a figure drawing class. Could not have been more than an 8-minute pose. I think that's probably how long it was. So fairly quick drawing. It is a sketch. It's loose, but it clearly defines, the light and dark planes, there's shadows, forms that are turning away from the light, description of anatomy. This is probably one of the most complete drawings I've done in this entire 12-week figure drawing course. I'm very happy with this one. Definitely going on the blog. Definitely going to save it to paint on top of. This drawing that's on top, not as good. And it's kind of crazy. This is the thing. You can sit down, you can see that in a drawing session, I can have these two drawings on the same sheet. And let me turn it sideways a little bit so you can, more like that. The fact that I can have these two drawings, one right after the other, and one come out like this, and the other come out like that, that's kind of the reason why I find figure drawing class so fascinating. Because the real question is, why can't I do this every single drawing all the time? Why can't I always perform at this quality level? That's because I'm not a master yet. It's the reason why I do master studies and study the artwork of other artists. Because even though I have the ability to draw, I haven't mastered the craft yet. And I don't say that to knock myself. Again, it's not a pity party. This is what's fascinating. Learning and growing and studying is what's exciting to me. I think that's the thing that a lot of artists beat themselves up about not improving to the skill degree, to the degree that they want, as quickly as they want. I do wish I got better faster. But I have fallen in love with the journey. So the fact that I'm still progressing and learning, I love going to class each day the same way that you love going to the gym and having a really good workout. You get a good sweat and your muscles may be aching, but you're kind of burning with pride, like, yeah, I put in work. And that's how I feel about figure drawing in general. This piece, worth posting on the blog. Won't save to paint over. That's the other thing. I'm also saving way few paintings to paint over because at this point I've probably got about 30 drawings, probably more than that, maybe like 50 drawings saved up for me to paint on. And I'm gonna have to start painting them soon because they're all on newsprint. And the whole point of me putting the medium, the clear medium acrylic over the top is to kind of seal it in so that hopefully halt the yellowing and aging. It's almost like I'm kind of, well, I'm sealing it in plastic, really, because that's what acrylic paint is. So sealing these drawings so they don't yellow with age and, just moisture in the air. So, let's see. This one, again, it really just comes down to, this is more the model than me. I don't think it's a great drawing. I don't think it's a bad one. I do like the structures I got on the knuckles and the finger, but because I didn't get enough of the rest of what's going on around the face, like he's holding a hat by the brim, I didn't get enough of like defining the difference between the hat and this part of the skull and then the shoulder on the other side. So it feels a little bit incomplete. I mean, again, it is a sketch, so there's going to be stuff that's incomplete. That said, I'll post it on the blog, but I'm not going to save it for a painting. This one I will save for the, I'll post it on the blog. Will I keep it for a painting or not? I don't know. I really don't know. I think it's good enough to show, put on the blog, share with people. Has nice darks and lights on it. But if I'm going to be pickier about what I'm going to save to paint, yeah, this one's kind of on the crux. And again, it's not because it's a bad drawing, it's because, well, like I said before, if I were to save every single drawing I have, or even if I saved just the ones I thought were pretty good, I've been taking figure drawing classes for probably like 10 years now. And that's just when I've been going to the Animation Guild. I mean, obviously I took figure drawing in college, you know, and taking classes and workshops here and there, if I saved every single drawing I had, like, I would have no room for any other goods or personal effects. It would just be papers everywhere. And contrary to popular belief, I mean, not every artist should be a hoarder. I don't want to be a hoarder. I have more crap in my house than I really need to have. So whenever I can get rid of stuff, I try to. This one, I actually really like it. This is one where if I think I had a little bit more time to, and I'm not going to go back in and polish the drawing up a little bit, but I think if I had a little bit more time, I really got a lot of good character in the nose and the lip, the cheek structure, and the hat, really, because I got, you know, the skull in there and got the nice shape of the bill and how his head fills out the back part of it, you know, and the cranium in there, and even getting the folds of the neck bent over. For some reason, the other drawing I was all iffy about. This one feels less finished to me, and yet I feel more of a desire to paint on it. Like, I feel like this one would make an interesting painting. You know, you can't always go by a logical, rational evaluation. Sometimes there's the creative instinct and the creative gut. My creative gut says, save this drawing and paint on it. And I'm going to listen. So we'll see. Usually if I sign a drawing in class, it means I'm planning to save it. And this one was sort of a longer pose, which is why I ended up just from the get-go taking up the whole sheet with it as opposed to doing smaller sketches. Like if we're doing 5-minute poses, I'll cram 3 to 5 drawings on one sheet, and I'll intentionally try to design the page so that they're interlocking with each other. I can't take credit for that idea. That was something that the instructor, Carl Ganas, advocated early on when I first started taking classes with him in terms of like designing your page. So, you know, I tried to listen. I try to do it when I can. Sometimes the design doesn't work out very well. Sometimes sometimes I'll just have 2 drawings on a page because the pose that comes after that, what would be the 3rd or 4th drawing I'd fit in there, the model will maybe take a horizontal page and the space that I've left for it is vertical. And so I'm like, doesn't fit there. I'm gonna have to start a new sheet. These are some expression studies. I think they're cute drawings, but not gonna post them. Again, kind of the same deal here. This is more of the same set. They're like quicker poses. I think they were 2-minute poses, which if you've got a model who's doing facial expressions for you, those facial muscles begin to burn and really tire you out. I will post this one because this one, for a 2-minute pose, feels pretty complete to me. I mean, it's a super fast sketch of it, but I like the sense of structure I got into the drawings. In fact, I'm kind of bad about that because really with these poses, the emphasis is supposed to be on pure expression. Who cares whether you capture the anatomy? But the challenge for me is to get a facial expression in there, but still get the solidity of a skull. I'm really trying to focus on solidity because I'm a wonky artist. If I'm left to my own devices, I will have mushy faces with no sense of bone structure, no sense of form and volume, and just they'll look mushy. So I'm trying to hold myself to a higher standard, to push, to express, but to do so with volume. And so that's it from this set. That's the last one. If you guys like this, I'm gonna call this video my December drawing purge. If you guys like this, then once a month or however often I clean out my drawing board, I will post a drawing purge video and you guys can just see what I've been doing in my figure drawing classes. Yeah, so you guys, if you like this stuff, view it, share it with people, and if there's a strong reaction, you'll get more.
That's it for now. You can check out my website, jeremy.net. That's GERIMI.net. That's where you can buy my comic books and artwork. You can also sign up for my free weekly newsletter to get a behind-the-scenes look at my creative process, updates on new comic books and artwork releases, and upcoming comic book convention appearances. Okay, go be creative.